Welcome to an all-new Marvel cast, Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers, Defenders to Bzztil and Starhammer. My name's Ashley Hobley, your Omega-level host, and joining me today is Ultimate Kira Marchant.
The fuck you just say?
Bzztil.
Right, okay, alright.
I assume that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Also joining us, the astonishing Don Blight.
It's the sound Ash's microphone makes most of the time when I listen to it.
Sore subject on this podcast. Today, we're talking about one of the we're going to have the conversation I'm most eagerly anticipating, because you guys had not seen this movie before. Today, we're talking about Dark Phoenix, the last of the first class era X-Men movies. All right, so please be aware we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about the plot, themes, and ending of the movie. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. With that said, let's jump into Dark Phoenix.
Why did you make me do that?
Look at me. Focus on my voice. I'm not giving up on you, Jean.
She was my friend.
You're my family, Jean. Stop, no matter what.
Stop. Look. You're special, Jean. And if you stop fighting that force inside you, if you embrace it, you will possess the very power of a god.
She'll kill us all.
Tell me how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
And what they don't understand, what they fear, and what they fear, we seek to destroy.
Why has this been rebranded on Disney Plus, X-Men Dark Phoenix? Because, they're scared. Released on the 7th of June, directed by Simon Kinberg, written by Simon Kinberg, based on X-Men by Stan Lee, and the Dark Phoenix Saga by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. Starring James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Nicholas Hoult, Sophie Turner, Ty Sheridan, Alexandra Shipp, and Jessica Chastain. The X-Men face their most formidable and powerful foe when one of their own, Jean Grey, starts to spiral out of control. During a rescue mission in outer space, Jean is nearly killed when she is hit by a mysterious cosmic force. Once she returns home, the force not only makes her infinitely more powerful, but more unstable. The X-Men must now band together to save her soul and battle aliens that want to use Grey's new abilities to rule the galaxy. Kieran, what do you think of Dark Phoenix?
Can I ask you both, because we've been on this journey together. What's been one of my stellar and leading comments about most of these Days of Future Past?
Cyclops sucks.
Rogue is shit.
Okay, no, the positive one. Okay, what's been one of the most positive?
I love James McAvoy.
It's
and
good
Mike
when that movie
Fassbender.
finished.
Ash got it right.
Okay.
How great! What the fuck did they do with my boy in this movie? What the actual fuck happened? It's like they heard. It's like all I've been saying is yes, they've made him more human. They've made him personable. Blah blah blah. It's like this movie does not give a fuck about anything that happened in any of the other movies, and doesn't give a fuck about any of the character progression of Charles Xavier. The fuck is like I remember I sat there during the opening scenes, and I'm like, what have they done? What do they do? What the fuck? Charles Xavier being egotistical.
How corrupts it does.
Yeah, but it's sorry, what? Xavier of all characters you're going on? You're telling me Xavier's okay with this fucking endangering his students and and then just I don't. You know what? So this movie does in terms of aesthetically and appearance and art decisions, rides the line very closely between being a very good live action adaptation of an X-Men movie and very close to being like a bad cosplay. Like, it rides the line very fucking closely throughout the entire thing. And that's purely if I have the movie on mute and I'm just watching the movie. Like, just aesthetics wise, it rides that line. The fuck is this script? This script is terrible. Like, I could, like, fuck. There's the one that got me out of the most random, out of fucking nowhere line was Mystique at the start turning around to Xavier and being like, yeah, well, it's the women that's always saving the men here, so why don't we change the name to X-Women? And I was like, the fuck did that come from? Like, where does that sensation comes from for Mystique as a character right now? I get it externally and like the political push and everything pushing that line, but for the character right then in that moment, what the fuck? Like, I just feel like the script is just fucking god awful the entire movie.
Dylan, what do you think of Dark Phoenix?
I don't know. What's the challenge to fuck it up twice? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was very bored. Started not paying attention to most of it. Don't really think I liked any of it. There's a cool part of Magneto in a village. Credits was pretty nice. And I don't know. It was a movie. I honestly don't know. It's like a fever dream. I watched it. Things happen. Mystique died. Magneto shows up. She's like, I killed people. They fight in the street. Then she turns good again. It's called School for Jean Grey. Cool. Moving on.
Can I add? I did forget to add. Scott Summons fucking sucks. Real fucking bad. Sorry, just take that back. Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is not good.
Oh my god! You know what? For a second there, I thought you were about to fence sit on this movie. I thought you were about to.
It is
try and positive
borderline
this.
Impossible to fence in on this movie. I feel like this is the movie that has the worst character motivations or like character representations of maybe any of them. I mean, there could have been interesting elements, like the child thing. I think the idea of like all these accolades and that kind of stuff, like kind of going to his head, is an interesting idea. Someone who would like he had finally kind of fulfilled his dream of humans and mutants coexisting. The X-Men are beloved.
He has a bat phone. Sorry, I mean an X phone.
He has an X phone straight to the president. You know.
At one point he says the line, "Oh, I created Cerebro to empower my abilities."
Yes, I created Cerebro. We have Beast is right there, buddy.
Hank is right there. You remember like 3 movies ago when he just randomly had this thing available already?
Yes.
You had nothing to do with this.
Yeah. So the idea, that he was like kind of corrupted by all these things. And then obviously the major crux of this movie is that his major downfall is that he told Jean Grey as a child her parents were dead, even though her dad was still alive, but didn't want her. Is that a morally bad thing that he did? I don't know.
What? Yes.
I mean, he was just, trying to spare us some pain.
Sorry.
He probably could have said it later,
No. He could have done it without locking away the memories.
Oh, no, absolutely. He could have done it without knocking away the memories,
Like, I feel like no, there's no there is no morally ambiguous nature around that situation.
I mean, it was a shitty thing to do, but I'm sure it helped her in the moment or at the time. But yeah, for him to be for him to once again be at rock bottom, I guess, like for all his mistakes, yeah, I mean, I feel like this one is very small and slight. Would be my major complaint. Like,
I
you
feel
know,
like it went a while.
no, but like I listed off that cast. That's almost a slighted down cast from the last movie. There isn't a lot of new introduced
No
like
one gives a
mutants to the
fuck. No one could be
pantheon.
come back.
They kill off Mystique
Yeah.
early on, and then they break Quicksilver's leg, so he's not in the movie anymore. You know,
Yep.
it's like very small, tiny group of people. They have to pull Magneto from Vision Quest, taking care of his own town, to come and be involved in the story. You know, it just feels very small
From his cult.
from his commune.
Sorry, this movie feels small. They went to space. There's aliens in this movie.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand the bad guys.
No,
I'm
I
very
like.
confused by that.
I thought when
I
they
completely I saw the movie in cinemas. I completely forgot just because Chastain was in this movie.
What a waste.
At first, I thought they were redoing Emma Frost, and I was like, "Do you guys forget that Frost was in
Yeah,
this
she
movie?"
looks like Emma Frost. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like watching a movie, it's a thing of like, I'm sure people who like know X-Men comics hardcore are like, they're the
No, but the thing
so-and-sos
is,
and they're the so-and-sos.
I-
But I'm like, as someone watching a movie, I'm like, I have no idea who these people
So-
are or what.
in the my basis where I thought this was sort of trying to draw from, and probably did, but just did terribly, was in the X-Men like animated series. The Dark Phoenix storyline all took place on another planet. Like it is largely featured
Yeah,
on
but none
another
of that's
planet with another
explained in
race.
this.
And that's the thing. But that's where I thought these creatures were explained to be, and this is what it was supposed to be, and that was the solar flare, and sweet, cool, whatever. And yeah, it just
The most you get is like Jessica Chastain being like something about like
we're aliens.
we're aliens. We need the power because
We need the power to
it's
repopulate
something.
our
I was
race.
like, okay, cool.
So what? You're gonna get super pregnant with the Phoenix? Is that what else? Are you gonna repopulate the race? Is that?
Yeah.
I don't know how the Phoenix is gonna help.
It's like a bad. They just seem like bad versions.
no,
of,
but they were like tree
Zod and
people, so maybe
Kryptonians
it
or
was
something.
like a
They're shitty
photosynthesis.
versions of Skrulls, and
Yeah, shitty
Skrulls are
Skrulls,
not that
yeah.
impressive.
Not
to
gonna
start
lie,
with.
when they
Yeah.
first turned up in that really dark scene, I was like, "Oh, are these like Groot people or some shit? Like, what the fuck is this
Yeah.
nonsense?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not good. And then towards the end, they're just straight up murdering these aliens. They're these people have like shown restraint for human life and like for sentient beings, just killing them. The worst offender is Nightcrawler, who we've seen be comic relief, be the good Christian boy, and he just snaps and just starts murdering fools every anybody. Yeah, and it just kind of ends with Jean murdering everybody again in the middle of nowhere and exploding.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know.
Woo.
It's just a very odd series of decisions.
It just feels like a bunch of the actors were like, "Hey, this is my last one. I don't
Yeah,
want to do this."
there's definitely a feeling of phoning it in.
I know Jennifer Lawrence was very much like, "This is the last one."
Yeah,
I don't want to keep doing
I think there's definitely a reason she is wearing that suit most of the time. Despite Mystique not needing a suit. What did Hank create some sort of material that transformed with her? Is that what happened? I don't know. That seems like a lot of extra steps when you could just.
Once again, when her and when Mystique and Hank are in like a full proper relationship, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing that kind of happened at the last movie, I guess." Yeah, all right. It just seems, yeah, I don't know.
I'll tell you who was not phoning it at least. Nicholas Hoult. He was giving his all. He was trying his best. Might be a spoiler, but I do enjoy that scene where he's ripping into Charles. After Mystique's death, blaming him. Quite rightly. Of course, then he goes on the crazy revenge mission to kill a teenage child. But before that, his rationale made sense.
I just think for a lot of it, it's just not not great. Like I just don't. I don't. There's nothing. I can't even. There's nothing about this movie I could be like, yeah, it's all right. There's something redeemable about it. It's got nothing. It's got nothing at all.
You know what I did think was redeemable and pretty good on this rewatch? Hans Zimmer's score.
That was
thought it was
that's the only thing I was gonna say. But
like-
you ruined my bit. You ruined my bit because when I was waiting for you to be like, all right, what's the most marvelous moment? I was gonna say the Hans Zimmer score. You fucked me.
Sorry,
Anyway,
you have
that's
to
my
come up with
still my
something else.
answer. No, too bad.
No.
That's my answer.
Which part? Which part when he kicked in?
I know. Yeah. No. Hold on.
I mean, it's kind of crazy that Hans Zimmer comes in on this one.
Yeah. Well, he was out of the DC stuff. They're like, all right. I'm
Yeah,
done with
I
this
mean, it was off the back
Christopher
of
Nolan, Wonder Woman 1984.
no, Dawn of Justice.
Oh, Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad movie. Yeah, I don't know if we want to dissect the plot any more than that. What do we think about Sophie Turner? I guess
Yeah.
who is the focal point of this movie.
What was the go with her hair for a lot of this movie? Like, I feel like her hair changed colors like a lot and not intentionally. There was moments where it was inside and it looked brown, and then it was very red and vibrant at several times. And I was like, is this a Phoenix choice or what? Like, even at the point where, like, when they first landed back on Earth, I was like, oh, she's got super red hair now. That might be a suggestion of the Phoenix. And then the next scene when they're back at the school, she's brown again. I was just, I don't know a lot.
I don't know. It could just be a lighting issue.
Yeah.
A color grading.
Also, I don't know if it was just mine, but the audio balance of this movie was real bad, or it was very quiet for me. It might just be a me thing, but
I don't know. I didn't notice. Yeah. Ciaran, who was the mutant of the movie?
Me.
I don't. You know what? Storm's integration, and the fact that they chose Storm. She made ice cubes for the drinks.
Yeah, I think they fucked it. I think she was one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, and
Yeah.
then she sort of got relegated back to us.
I can't remember, by the way, what happened to the other horsemen.
We don't know.
We don't know
Well,
because
apart-
I was
Well,
like,
Angel died, right?
Angel dead. Yeah.
Angel dead.
Oh,
Psylocke
that's
just ran
right.
off.
Yeah.
Psylocke ran off.
And Magneto's at a commune, hanging
Yeah.
out.
Okay. All right.
So-
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Storm was pretty good, She's backing up her mates, She's like forcing her way on the team. The Storm powers look pretty good for the most part. Gave him sage advice about, believing in things.
I guess I don't know. There was not much stuff. Yeah.
It's a shallow pool. Dylan, who's your mutant in the movie?
What's that mutant that's doing the song in that scene?
Dazzler?
Yeah, Dazzler.
One scene?
Is it Dazzler? I thought it was
I think it's-
Mystic for some reason.
I don't.
Dazzler. I can't
let me
remember.
Because I
double check
thought
that.
I thought the black face paint was
No,
Mystic.
it's Dazzler because I remember
Holston
before-
Stage briefly appears as Dazzler in this
Yeah,
character.
because I remember they made a big deal about it when the movie was coming out.
Do you know what I
and
just
they-
realized? What the fuck happened to Jubilee? She's
to all the
Scheduling
boys-
conflict.
to all the boys she loved. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. No, I'm
That's
going,
what
I'm going
happened.
with that's X-Men. That's the mutant in the movie. Dazzler.
Again, for the second movie in a row, I'm going to go Nightcrawler. Even though, he does take a dark turn. He's fun through the entire movie. Even though he fucks up and doesn't save her at the start of the movie. And if he had grabbed her when he was trying to get out of that spaceship, everything would have been fine. I guess.
Terrible at his job.
But, he's trying his best. Even when someone stops him from using his powers, Dylan, what was the most marvelous moment of the movie?
When that song kicks in that goes, oh, oh, that one. That's the most marvelous moment.
Okay. Ciaran, what was the most marvelous moment of the movie?
The moment of the movie that I laughed the hardest about, and therefore is the moment of the movie for me, because when they go into space, was like, what the fuck are you taking Scott to space? What the fuck is he going to fucking do? And then they use him to power a fucking gun. So they definitely could have,
Optic
like...
blast sniper rifle, yes.
Like, surely fucking Beast could, like, invent or use a non-Scott related weapon for the X-Jet.
No,
But
build it
no.
around him.
They built it around him. Scott, all you are good for is being a fucking artillery gun on our ship. You fucking dork.
I mean, I'm like,
Get
why
out
is
of here.
Mystique going? Other than, I guess she's the captain.
She's the She's the leader. She's the leader. It makes sense. Scott's part of the problem as well. Where Scott's like, hey, no, Jean can do it. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Fuck
You
off,
had
Scott.
just left that one astronaut to die. You know?
Yeah. Like this entire, just.
It's a greater good, you know.
The greater good. Yeah, my most marvelous moments. Yeah, I think it's still the Beast Xavier scene. Really good. The one emotional moment of the movie. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about from this movie? How it doesn't fit with the canon at all, because we assume that the events of Days of Future Past, where, you know, Wolverine is reunited with Cyclops and Jean Grey at Xavier's school for gifted youngsters, happened, and that's all being rewritten.
I was very confused, especially in like the first opening section where Xavier is talking to Jean and like taking Jean into the school as a little girl. I'm like, where does this fit? Like, where is the timeline? Because I remember shit being in the 90s in the last movie, like late 80s. No, it was late 80s last movie. So then I was like, at what point is this Charles? And yeah, I don't know.
It's a lot. I mean, I enjoy that they tied it back into, you know, Charles and Eric one last time playing chess, as they always do. One more game, you know. Charles has been kicked out of his house, forced to vacation in France or whatever. Yeah. Kind of a sad ending for his story, I guess.
Sorry, I looked up looked up some stuff after I finished watching it. Because like there's a lot of questionable things. Because Simon Kinberg, I'm like, okay, you created Star Wars Rebels, so how the fuck do you go so wrong with this, right? So I'm reading some interview of him, and he got asked by someone, and he's like, yeah, so that last scene in the movie, I really wanted a moment like in Dark Knight Rises, where, you know, it's them at, you know, in some European country. I'm like, okay. Sure. Not quite the same effect, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough end to the X-Men franchise, to put it bluntly. But you know, that's how it goes. You run these things into the ground. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know.
Just wrap it up, I reckon.
Just wrap it up, I guess. You know,
just take us home.
Let us know what you thought of Dark Phoenix by going to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter or jump to Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars. Any good, leave 5 stars. Just tell people about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, or at least what we've been doing here with this Mutant Rewatch, and think it was worth $1, head on over to the Ko-fi page at explosion.com/supports. Alright guys, next week, make sure you watch Deadpool, and join us next time for another All New Marvelcast.